You know what they say, love fades, but tattoos last forever. So we're breaking down 9 celebs who got their ink covered up after a terrible breakup right here on Listed. There are plenty of celebs who got tattoos in honor of their significant others. However, there are also plenty of them who later went through a really nasty breakup and had to deal with the tattoo aftermath. First up on our list of celebs who've gotten their tats covered is cheetah girl Adrienne Bailon. It took her 3 times to get the tattoo of Rob Kardashian's name removed from her butt. You heard me right, I said her butt.
My bottom. Not my favorite tattoo, and that's the one that I definitely want to get removed.
Adrienne and Rob started dating back in 2007 before splitting 2 years later, and when it was time for her to get rid of his name, she admitted that even though getting the tat was painful, it would be even more painful having to explain to her future kids why another man's name is on her booty. Preach, girl. And that brings us right along to our next celeb, Rob Kardashian. Him and Adrienne got tattoos of each other's names done together. And while she decided to just completely remove hers, he chose to cover up his with a life-sized Barbie doll of Rita Ora. You would think he learned the first time around. His sister Kaley even admitted that this was one of his dumbest tattoos ever. And Kim took the joke further by saying it now looks like a huge cabbage patch. Ouch. And speaking of name tattoos, Nick Cannon used to have a pretty big one spelling out Mariah across his back. Well, after 6 years and a set of twins, Nick and Mariah Carey were no longer an item, so Nick covered up his tattoo with an even bigger piece of art, a crucifix that, let's just say, is huge. During an interview, Nick revealed, "The back art is not to say I'm over that situation, that's a part of me, so it's like I incorporated it into what the new art is." Up next on the list is Zayn Malik. Back in 2013, he got a cartoon version of Carrie Edwards on his bicep that was inspired by a sexy drawing of her wearing a peace sign t-shirt and a beanie. The two spent 4 years together and they even got engaged before sadly deciding to end their relationship in 2015. Since then, Zayn has started dating another pretty lady, model Gigi Hadid. And if you're wondering about the cartoon of Perry on his arm, well, judging by a pic from Gigi's Snapchat, he has completely covered that up. Next up, Iggy Azalea had "Live, Love, ASAP" written on the inside of her fingers while she was dating A$AP Rocky back in 2011. But after the two split just a year later, she decided to take care of the problem by simply putting a big ol' X over his name with another tattoo. Iggy once said that she never regretted getting the ink because she loved him and didn't want to forget about that. However, after then getting engaged to Lakers player Nick Young back in 2015, she finally decided that it was time to just fully remove the ink. Which brings us right along to our next celeb. During an interview with GQ, Justin Bieber explained the meaning behind a few of his tattoos, but this one in particular caught our attention.
This is my ex-girlfriend, so I kind of tried to cover her face up with some shading.
Fans still know the obvious truth that at one point it was meant to be Selena Gomez, but when it comes to the shading, it might not have worked so well. And something else that didn't work out so well is Kaley Cuoco's tattoo of her wedding date and her marriage, to say the least. She had Roman numerals representing December 31st, 2013, which was the day that she got married to Ryan Sweeting. But when they got divorced a year and a half later, she decided to cover that thing up.
Which I think turned out okay.
What did you get put on your back?
Now my little moth on the back.
What is it?
It's a moth.
Wings were the only thing big enough to cover up all those numbers. All right, let's move on now to Amber Rose's tattoo of Wiz Khalifa. His entire face was on the back of her arm. She once stated that she was not going to remove it, but she changed her mind and was seen leaving a tattoo removal facility with bandages on her arm. She even made the news official after showing the world her ex-husband's face was now covered up by roses. Up next, Rihanna might not have gotten a face on her body, but she just had this one tattoo that reminded her a little too much of Chris Brown. Remember the Maori tattoo that she had on her hand? Well, it had a deeper meaning as a way to get rid of all the negativities in her past. But seeing it also meant thinking about all of that negativity. So she covered it up with this beautiful henna-inspired design. The artist behind the ink said, "You have to create pain to get over pain." And the new tat is to remind her that despite the pain in her past, it shows just how much she's grown up and what she wants to become. On that note, unfortunately, that brings us to the end of our list, but I want to hear from you guys. Which celeb had the best cover-up and which celeb had the dumbest tattoo? Let me know in the comment section. And then when you're done with that, click right over here to check out even more Bieber tattoos and their meanings. And as always, be sure to subscribe to our channel. I'm your girl, Miriam Issa. Hit me up on my socials at Miriam Issa or on Instagram at Miriam_Issa, and see you guys next time.